Today is a very historic day. Today is a very historic day. Very significant day in the history of Edo State, in the history of Benin, in the history of the ancient kingdom of Benin. I don't think we have had reason to call for this kind of meeting before. Maybe there has been reason to do so, but I'm not aware. When INEC came to see me, the chairman, and pleaded with me to please lend my voice to what has been going on, I thought, yes, this is the time to do something, to invite everybody. Let's talk about it. This is our state. This is our land. This is our land. Edo State, let me first of all state what I said in Benin language, that I appreciate the respect. I appreciate the respect you gentlemen have shown to traditional institution, to the Benin throne, for your honoring our invitation today. We appreciate it greatly. And I want to also assure you that from the throne, the ancient throne of Benin, we equally, mutually want to show to you, to tell you we appreciate your respect, and we also respect you, all of you that are present here today. We also have great respect for all of you. I thank you very much for the honor you have shown to the throne, for the respect you have been showing, in different manners, in different ways. You have all shown respect to the Benin throne in your own different ways, which we have always noted, even if we don't speak so much about it, but we have taken note of everything, and we always pray for those that show such respect, and pray for those that maybe they're falling short of it, to have more wisdom to respect the traditions of their fathers, of their forefathers. You know, a child that does not respect his father, that does not show respect to his father, I think is falling short of certain expectations. I want to tell you that we respect all of you, all the politicians, all the political actors. However, we have noted that Benin politics have been in the news for quite some time now, for all the wrong reasons. For all the wrong reasons. I've had, I must admit, sleepless nights for quite some time now. That these are all our people. These are people of the same stock, of the same origin. There's nobody that's a stranger to each other. I have been worried. I've been worried right from the time the conflict started between Comrade Oshomole, the former governor, and incumbent governor, His Excellency Obaseki. Both of them are here. I want to start, for the benefit of those that are not aware. The press is here. I want to start by the genesis by stating the genesis of certain relationships. I have personal relationship with almost everybody here. Almost everybody. Personal relationship. The incumbent governor, Phyllis Shuaibu, that I always call my son, but I'm not sure whether I will call you my son again the way you have been going. So please be seated. Chief Oyegun, we have known for ages. Comrade Oshomole, Pastor Iyamu, none of them are unknown to me personally. When His Excellency Comrade Adams Oshomole was nearing the end of his tenure, we always used to interact closely. At that time, I was still in the capacity of the Crown Prince, the heir apparent. I was living in GRA and all that before I moved to Oselu. We always visited, and I always visited him in Government House. Had some close, nice evenings together, which is not so possible these days. But we had some memorable times. The end of his tenure, people were asking me who's going to take over from what he has been doing so well, that people have been admiring him for, and so on and so forth. And then I brought this to his notice. I asked him, this is what people are asking me, that I should please ask you. So, who do you have in mind to propose, not to impose, but to propose? That was what I asked him. His reply was, Your Royal Highness, I'm still thinking about it. When I'm ready, I will come and let you know. I hope you don't mind, Your Excellency, me speaking out on this now, because of the way things are going. Now, eventually, 2-3 weeks or so later, he came back to me, came to my residence, said, Your Royal Highness, that question you asked me, I've thought it through. This is my position. And I won't give details of those analyses. I will spare you details of the analysis you gave to me. But some of you already know about it. He analyzed 3 candidates, 3 potentials, or if they were, I don't know if they were even potentials, but he brought them out one by one, each one. At the end of it, zeroed in on the incumbent governor, and that is the one that he has. That is the one he has chosen. So I kept looking at him. I want all of you to know today, even the incumbent governor, when Oshomole, His Excellency Comrade Oshomole, mentioned that all the reasons why it must be Obaseki or not, nobody else. He gave all the strong reasons, all the strongest reasons in the world why it must be Obaseki. He's the chairman of economic team at that time. I said nothing. Your Excellency, Comrade Oshomole, I want you to answer. Did I say any word about it? Did I say anything against it? I kept quiet. I was not against his selection. I was not against his imposition. I thought he was going to make a proposal, but he made an imposition. So I kept quiet. I said no word, nothing. He was surprised I didn't utter a word. At the end of it, got up. I got up to escort him out to his car at that time. Halfway, he stopped and turned around to me. Your Royal Highness, when I mentioned his successor, that I didn't say anything. Said I didn't say anything. That when he mentioned it to some other people, they were against it. Many people were criticizing him for it, for the choice. Many people were against it. Even some members of the royal family were against it. That they told him the history of Obaseki family and so on and so forth, what they did to the royal family, what they did to Benin and so on and so, which many of you are aware of. And how they wrote out these things. Debate but on na tell so la dia na because it was not the orion again. Now he now told me, he said, but when I mentioned who my successor is going to be to your Royal Highness, your Royal Highness did not say anything. Your Royal Highness did not express any opinion. I hope you will recall all this our conversation. I kept some other sensitive ones out of it. My reply, if you recall, was, Your Excellency, you wanted an opinion about what you just told me. I didn't know you expected my opinion. I don't really have any opinion. That's why I kept quiet. But if I have an opinion in future, I will let you know. 3 weeks or so later, His Excellency again came to me and said, Your Royal Highness, I asked you about your opinion about this and that, about my choice of successor. I said, well, Your Excellency, I still don't have any opinion. I hope you will all understand why I couldn't have any opinion. I don't know if anybody can guess why I couldn't have any opinion. I couldn't have any opinion because it was not a proposal. It was an imposition, so I couldn't have any opinion about it. It was a fait accompli. So I kept quiet again, and then he was worried. His Excellency Comrade was worried that I didn't express any opinion. And he told me everything that His Excellency Governor Obaseki was going to be much better than him, he was going to perform better than, he was going to continue his legacy, he was going to continue his projects, and so on and so forth. Let's cut the long story short. Eventually, I moved to Selu in preparation for the coronation. His Excellency Comrade Oshomole, again, he walked with me to Oselu. He was still worried. His Excellency invited Alhaji Dangote to come and talk to me in Oselu about it. Alhaji Dangote came to see me to die there. He came to Oselu. to speak to me about the gentleman, the incumbent governor, His Excellency Obaseki, Governor Obaseki. Talked to me for over an hour. Again, I kept quiet. I maintained my silence. His Excellency and His Excellency Governor Obaseki also visited Uselu. He brought him again. I said, okay, you made the presentation. I still kept quiet. I didn't say anything. I was not against his choice. Neither did I express anything for or against. I just maintained silence. The reason why I'm emphasizing this is because I didn't have anything against his choice. And even if I had anything against it, I was not in a position to express it because he only brought one person and imposed it. And I've known Obaseki since Atlanta. When I was ambassador in Rome, I was invited to visit Atlanta. And it was introduced to me as the head of the economic team. He made a very nice presentation to everybody about development projects, the ring road, the water fountain. You will recall all that. I hope company will recall some of these things I'm saying. And then eventually, anyway, I still kept quiet. Alhaji Dangote came and offered himself as guarantor for the incumbent governor's good behavior. We perform creditably well for everybody. If he should misbehave, I should call him. I found all that strange. Why would I, once he's governor, it's up to him to perform. I'm not going to start reporting my governor to somebody else out there, especially to non-indigene that is not one of. So I found all that kind of. But again, all that was on my mind. I didn't say anything to Alhaji Dangote, and you are all aware. I kept quiet. So I was very, very shocked because I've known the two. I visited Iyamu several times, not many times, but at least several enough, relatively speaking. And Governor Obaseki and Comrade Shumole have been very, very close. Everybody knows. I'm only repeating what everybody knows. Philly Shuaibu was always, I call Philly Shuaibu my son because of the way I saw him reacting in the tribunal when I was still in Rome as ambassador then. And I saw witnessed the tribunal. He was crying like a baby, cry of joy, not of anything else. He was shedding tears because the tribunal's verdict was going Shomole's way. It was, I said, look at him, he's just like a baby, and so on and so forth. Eventually, I started referring to him as, His Excellency, my son, and so on and so forth. But I was very, very sad, shocked. What I thought was going to be smooth ride for everybody, tranquility in the state, tranquility in the kingdom, turned to conflict, unprecedented conflict. I couldn't believe it between Comrade and Governor Obaseki. Couldn't believe it. I tried to intervene several times. I even went to the president about their matter. They know, they are aware. Each and every attempt to get both of them together, there was always somehow one will be available, the other one will not be available, one way or the other. Eventually, I concluded that they were avoiding me, that they didn't want to be together like they are now. that they were avoiding being with me at the same time, perhaps knowing fully well that if I speak to both of them and they agree, they will have to sheath their swords. Obaseki, or no? Your Excellency, Obaseki, or no? Yeah, he will be available. Comrade will not be available. Comrade will be available. He will not be available. Your Excellency, Comrade Shomoli, I still leave certain details out. You understand? But eventually, I was wondering, what is this thing between both of them? In Benin, there's an idiomatic expression. Osa oswan, I started to wonder, where is Zeduni? Where is Zeduni? When Oromia was coming from Ife, he was accompanied by two spiritual priests. Osa Oswan. They held a container full of magical charms and things like that, but nobody knew what was in it to protect the prince from Ife to Benin. So one of them is called Osa, the other one Oswan, and only the two knew the content of the basket or the container, the traditional container they were bringing with the prince. So hence, Osa Oswan. When there is a mysterious secret or mysterious unexplained phenomenon that is going on, we usually refer to that adage. Osa Oswan or me. So I now concluded that there must be something between, because they were so close. Go to the gym together, party together. It's not something that I need to be told. It's not something I witnessed myself. We were all sometimes in the same. When the comrades tried to cheer me up, on one occasion because of certain things that happened at some point, he tried to organize a social event to cheer me up, which he didn't really succeed. But I was there, I want to still thank comrade for that attempt. They were all together, So I was at a loss. Didn't know what to do, except to pray for them, to pray for whatever it is that between them, for God to resolve it, to intervene, to resolve it. But since everything kept deteriorating to the point of even Philip that assured me, gave me some assurances, was going against his own assurances, was not coming up with what he was not honoring his own assurances to me. He knows what I'm talking about, and I'm not happy about that. You don't say things to me, and you go against it. So sit down, please, But I know politics. They say politics. Some people say politics is a dirty art. It's not. Why should politics be dirty? Why should this chief here, Obaseki here? I've asked him how come he's a chief in my inner chamber when he's such a political animal. He is the one that even made the statement that politics is dirty. It's a dirty game. And I asked him, why are you wearing this white? Why are you wearing the white garment? Maybe we should take it off you. Why are you wearing this white garment? Because chiefs wear white in order to maintain purity, to reflect purity, not dirty. I asked him, why are you wearing this white garment? Then I think his funny answer was that when he goes to the field, he takes it off. And keeps it somewhere. So that's why you find that when he's, with all of you, because His Excellency Obaseki and His Excellency Comrade Oshomole and Phyllis Shuaibu, they were all in the same party, together with him. So this business of now His Excellency is in a different party, it's amazing. The way this is very, very serious matter. When again, to cut long story short, I want to go to another topic altogether. After all the conflicts, the exchange of hot words between Comrade Oshomole and Godwin Obaseki, which was amazing to me, and the role that Phyllis Shuaibu has been playing, because to me they're all one family. What cannot be resolved when you are all family? Family can quarrel, brothers can quarrel, sisters can quarrel, family can quarrel, but there must be a resolution. Today, that's what I want us to achieve today. There must be resolution. Because as you are all seated here, I look at you all as a family. I look at you all as part of the palace family. You are all family to us. You are family to the palace. You are family to the throne. And I cannot have all of you fighting each other or at each other's throat. We are not happy about it. You can see the way I've been speaking. You can tell I've been harboring a whole lot of unhappiness because of the way you have been carrying on. I said a while ago, Edo State has been in the news for all the wrong reasons, political news that is. Other reasons, yes, there have been good things too. They have been in the news for other reasons, for good reasons. Since before 2016, there was the activities of CDA that nobody could build his house easily in Benin, or maybe even the rest of Edo State. I was still serving ambassador that time when I was hearing about CDA. Eventually, you all know that is history now. His Excellency, when I came out a month after the coronation, I came out and I made a pronouncement out there. I told them that this is not on because if you're going to attend anything to dictate in anywhere, and then His Excellency Governor Obaseki immediately supported my move. Immediately supported by establishing PPP, PPP to look into such, at that time I simply made the pronouncement that those that won't hear what I've said is left between him and our ancestors. Our ancestors are spiritual. They see it all. God Almighty created our ancestors. That's why it's God Almighty. The three, maybe in English, Osagbaye is God is everywhere. Okodudu, omnipotent, omnipresence. Anyway, when I now see all this, eventually it degenerated to His Excellency the Governor being disqualified from the same party for bad that Omar qualified, that he is not qualified, and so on and so forth. And then I was surprised that what made him qualified to be there for the last 4 years, that he was qualified for the last 4 years. Eventually, he now, because I asked him before, when Isama visited him, I asked him, I said, here you are now moving to Isama's camp. He said, no, 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 no such thing. No, but I said, that is PDP, Isama's camp. I said, that is PDP. Not that I was against it, I just asked. What that is going to portend for everybody. Eventually, what I asked that time is what he has done now. But he was forced, I think. Circumstances maybe forced him. But they are all together. They are all the same. Then, Pastor, Oye Chief, Isogma, was in PDP. Now he's here. So you can all see that it's all confusing to some of us. So please, I want you to take your mind back to 2015. When before the election results were announced, President Jonathan, whom I was principal representative of when he became president after Yaradua, I carried all their letters of credence to various heads of state at the time. Made a concession speech, picked up the telephone and called President Buhari. Then all the predictions, the forecast by international community and so on, that Nigeria is going to break up, is going to be on fire and so on, everything, everything quenched. Just by that singular act. I want to ask the political actors in Edo State, knowing how you have been coming, you have been together, you have been not together, you are mixing everybody, you are confusing the press, you are confusing the public, you are confusing everybody. Why are you all doing this? Is it because of just the office? The office is 4 years, at the most another 4 years. Why do you want lives to be lost? Why do we hear that you are arming thugs? Why? At the end of the day, the thugs keep those guns with them. You cannot tell them to. If it is true, I don't know. If it is true, the politicians are arming them. They keep those guns. This is not the first time in Nigerian history. They have been doing this kind of thing before. It's not the first time. But for Edo State, I want to please appeal to Benin. I want to appeal to politicians, political actors, that when the international community said they were watching Edo State, I think it was the American embassy even, somebody replied and said they should go and watch their own upcoming election first. Just last night, I was watching CNN when they were also talking about thugs. I don't know if any of you saw it. In the United States, America. They were also talking about thugs in such a developed country. So what do they expect the one they call third country or developing country to do? And yet, American embassy was criticizing what is happening in Edo State. They are watching the violence coming up and so on and so forth. Yet, they are still talking about thuggery. People being armed. Antifa. You've heard of Antifa. You've heard of Antifa, comrade. You've heard of Antifa in America. It's supposedly is a terrorist group or militia, armed militia, that were in the aeroplane, wanted to go to some convention, but they said it's a conspiracy theory of Donald Trump. But they're still talking about thugs because they are also preparing for election in November. Here we are preparing for election this month. And it's shootings and so on and so forth, shooting, maiming, injuring each other. And you are all from the same state. You are letting everybody else make Edo State a laughing stock, which we cannot be happy about. Again, we are doing our bit internally, traditional prayers, if you understand what I mean by that. Traditional prayers to avoid violence, to avoid this and so on and so forth, to bring peace and tranquility to your hearts, to your minds, so that we can all rest properly. So I want to please appeal. The purpose of this meeting is for me to strongly appeal to politicians to control the youth, control the so-called thugs that are against each other. I don't know. I'm not concerned about which side is doing it, which side is not doing it. The reason why I asked Chief Oyegu to be, I don't like calling him chief because he's not one of our chiefs. So I said this before. I said it before in President Buhari's presence. So if he wants to be sitting with one of them, then he should come and make proper requests. So because he's an elder statesman, I didn't expect him to be on either side, frankly speaking, whether castigating this side or castigating this side. I expected him to call both sides to his house and admonish them, talk to them, to cease fire, and so on and so forth. I'm sure he knows what I'm talking about. But because of this occasion, I wanted to call him privately before. But this occasion has presented itself now, so we need to have a conversation about this. I will want the politicians to please assure us, because enough is enough. We must surprise everybody else that when the election comes, it's peaceful. When the election comes, it's not what they are expecting. Edo State is not like that. Edo State is a nation state. Edo State goes all the way past Onitsha. If you want to talk about the kingdom, the empire, Edo State is only the current seat of a major empire in Africa. And you all know that, and you are part of it. Then why are you shooting at each other? Why are you not proud of it? You are part of it. You should be proud of it. You should show you are very mature. But the utterances are here, the statements are here, the activities most immature. It's not enough. We are not behaving in those states, properly. We are calling in people to come and laugh at us. Do you want people to laugh at us? Huh? Philip, they say you are the tough one inside. You must behave. Please. Huh? Tell your boys, if it's you, tell your boys to cease fire, that your papa has told you they should cease fire. Enough is enough. I don't want to hear shootings, guns anymore. Enough is enough. Don't want to kill yourselves because of office. Because office will be there. Life will be there. Even if you don't win, there will be other things God has proposed for you. Maybe even greater things. Must it be a do or die affair? Please, we are all worried. Please be seated. Your Excellency, the Governor of Edo State. Please, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Me, I'm very, very sad and upset about what has been happening in Edo State lately. I think this must be the worst scenario from all the politics that we have been seeing in Edo State. Please, Dan Obi, I've always been following, I've always been listening to you. You know, we listen to you, listen to everybody. Please, I want to appeal to you. Do your best, do your bit to calm down the temperature in Edo State. Calm down everywhere. Let there be peace. Let there be tranquility. This is my appeal. Let us have the kind of working relationship that President Buhari has with former President Jonathan. Between whoever comes to office. It's not a do or die affair. You know, Benin City was once called the City of Blood by a foreign author. No, we didn't call it City of Blood here. None of us did that. But a foreign author, City of Blood. Is that what you want to turn Benin City to now? Or those states in general? Please, we are begging you politicians, particularly the two
Oba Atokwe, Your Majesty, for this very, very timely initiative. We want to thank you for the fatherly role you have continued to play, and pray that God Almighty, who has put you on this throne, will give you very many, many more years to be of service to us in Edo State. By the grace of God, I am the Chief Executive Officer of Edo State. And in my capacity as the governor, I've sworn to an oath to preserve the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have sworn to protect the lives and property of the people I govern. So it will be grossly irresponsible of me as a governor to do any act or take any action that could lead to the disruption of peace in the states to which I've sworn to serve, or actions that will lead to destruction of lives and property. It is rather sad and unfortunate what is going on in Edo State. It is something that we are all concerned about. And I found myself in a very, very difficult situation. Yes, I'm a candidate, but I'm also the governor with the responsibility to preserve peace and protect lives. And I take my job very, very seriously. I have asked the party leadership to catalog for Your Majesty those reported incidents of violence since this campaign started. And from what has been catalogued, you will see it's so clear. I am not aware of any of those actions being undertaken by supporters of my party. I will let the party campaign chairman, go into the details. But I just want to assure you, sir, I want to assure you, Your Majesty, that in my role as the Chief Security Officer of the state, I am doing all I can. I'm doing all within my possible best to maintain peace and safety in Edo State. I know the amount of resources that I have instructed to be committed to policing. I know the work that we have done as a Security Council. Therefore, I am as worried as you are that these incidents continue to persist. You've said it. We all know ourselves. We all know our propensities. We all know our tendencies. I'm not going to take time here to begin to point accusing fingers, but I want to assure you that as things stand in Edo today, from the evidence I have before me, from the security reports, it will seem that, yes, there are actions of violence across the board, but what is really bothering me is that the security agents have not been able to, well, even when they have arrested people for violence, they've not been able to try one person. So there's no deterrence. And except that happens, it will continue. There's a case I had to deal with last night, which was very, very obvious, which happened in Ukpila, where somebody was apprehended. I mean, there was a big shootout. We're just lucky that the inhabitant of that house wasn't killed. That person was finally arrested as he was about to escape through a border with Kogi, and arrested. And I understand from police sources that so much pressure was put on the commissioner, and that person was released last night. What do you expect? So I believe for us to secure peace, we'll continue to try. I'm booking an appointment to go and meet the highest authorities in terms of security, to also lay complaints. So, so from my position as the Chief Executive Officer of the state, I'm making that commitment to you, sir, Your Majesty, that I have no choice. I'm sworn to an oath to keep the peace and protect lives and property, and that I will continue to do.
I have to make this observation, these remarks. Your Excellency is the Governor of Edo State. By the grace of God, you have been endowed with the responsibility of being the Chief Executive of Edo State. You have taken your oath as the Governor of Edo State. We are all aware of all this. However, what I pleaded for was not to catalog anything for me to see. Who has done this, or who has done that, who has not done this, who has, if you do that, you will be veering into the area that I don't really want any one of you to go into. What I want to hear is that you say to me, in the name of God Almighty and our ancestors, there will be peace. I don't want to get involved in blame passing. I don't want to get involved in who is wrong, who is right. I want everybody to now be right. I want everybody to, on both sides, to be on the right side of the Lord God Almighty that wants peace on earth. I'm not in any way doubting your efforts as the Chief Security Officer of the state, your efforts to ensure peace. But yes, please. However, the point of this meeting, is not to ask you to catalog incidents of violence or this or that. And the other side will now be pushed into the position of saying, no, they also have their own catalog of issues. That's not the point of this. The point of this meeting is an appeal, a strong appeal from me, personally to all of you, that I know personally so well, that you all come to me individually, privately even, privately, and my doors have always been open to you. You know that. The only aspect I'm not happy about is when you didn't let me resolve the issue between you and your friend, comrade, before it got to this point. If we had done it that time, everything would have been, that we would not be sitting here, and everything would have been smoother than this. That is the only point, that you and your friend did not let us resolve it when it was still coming up, when it was still brewing, quietly. The point of this meeting is not to pass blame. It's not to say the one I'm doing my best, catalog of who is of the violence, or no. Naturally, they are not. It's going to now tilt towards the other side. I don't want that. What I want to hear is, Your Excellency, Mr. Governor, that you say to me that you want to assure me there will be, well, in whatever way you're going to play your own role, that there will be peace, there will be no shooting anymore, and the other side will speak and give me the assurance, just give us the commitment. I don't want to say set aside your official capacity as the governor for now, but you are before us, you are before God Almighty, you are before our ancestors. It will be good for you to look beyond your office, because you are not going to be there all the time. It's good to look beyond. You see the elder statesman there, Chief Odigi Oyego, was once a governor. He's not anymore now. Everybody knows that it's transient. Everybody knows. But you look beyond. Look at the bigger picture. Look at how one day you can also sit and be, when you are no longer the governor, everybody can still give you respect. More respect even. That's why I made reference to Jonathan. That's why I made reference to former President Jonathan. There are other examples like that. Please, what I want to hear from both parties, both candidates, both parties, is that from today, you have visited us, you want to assure me, one way or the other, work together with Pastor Iyamu, together, not differently. Because you are Ivedowahin. Before you leave here today, I want to see that both of you even embrace to work together for peace. To work together for peace. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to know whether this one catalog this or catalog that, or this one has more. You'll be doing blame passing, Your Excellency. So please, I want to beg you. I want to plead. I want to plead that we hear that from both of you. Then before the elder statesman will make his remarks, that he will help me, help all of us to follow through with what you are committed to do today. Is the violent-free environment that I'm concerned about. Violent-free environment, so that we can shame people that are trying to laugh at Edo State. People that are trying to make Edo State a laughing stock. This is an ancient kingdom. Edo State is the seat of an ancient kingdom with strong traditions, ancient traditions. Probably the longest, the oldest in Africa. I'm sure you know your history. If you know your history, please, all I'm asking for is for both sides to just eschew violence. Agree to work together to ensure you tell your boys, whichever party or side they belong to not to shoot at even each other down the line. Give your commanders, commanders in chief of your parties or so, no more of this. You may not even be aware that they are doing it to each other. But if they hear that their guys are not happy with them, if they do it, they will. And if they hear that we have had this meeting and this is my own opinion about it all, that enough is enough, I think they will listen with your cooperation. Please, that's what I want to just hear. Otherwise, if it stands up now, Pastor Iyamu stands, he will say, oh no, he has catalog of whatever to as well. We're not going to get anywhere. So I beg of you, I beg all of you, I beg of you to please maintain peace. Stop the violence.
Your Royal Majesty, Oba Atokbe, the point I made, Your Majesty, is that I'm acting in two capacities. As the Chief Security Officer of the state, because I'm the incumbent governor, and as a candidate. And I think it's important that I make that separation. And that's why I was emphasizing that as the Chief Security Officer of the state and incumbent, I sworn to an oath, and I swear to, I don't have any issues of swearing to to my God, that I will not participate. I have never participated. I will never participate in violence, particularly as it affects the people I'm governing. I will never. I have never. And to just put it on record that I have no problems whatsoever with my brother Obaseki Iyamu. We are contestants. We're contesting for the same position, but we have no personal animosities or quarrels or issues. I treat him like my younger brother. He gives me my respect, defers to me, and that is the relationship we enjoy. So Your Majesty, I just wanted to make that point very clear.
We sincerely appreciate and want to assure our father and all those present that we on our part pledge to ensure from our supporters, our followers, that they conduct themselves peacefully throughout the campaign and during the election. We are going to talk to them. We're going to pass this message that we have been giving. And every campaign we do henceforth, we're going to spend some time to also talk to all of them about the need to keep to the peace, no matter what provocation they might talk about. They must ensure that there's no violence. This election is a family one, and it cannot be described as do or die. So we want to give that assurance. I would have wanted to mention one or two other things, but to respect what our father has said, I think I will leave it at that, and to assure His Majesty that we will not go against your advice. And going to shake or embrace His Excellency Godwin Obaseki is my senior brother, and I will gladly move to him.
Your Royal Majesty, respected palace chiefs, let me stand on already established protocol. I want to use this opportunity to thank you for your time and message to all of us. I believe it is in the interest of all of us and the good people of this state to maintain peace before, during, and after the elections. The message you have given to us is well taken. We will pass it down the line to our supporters. Oba Atokpe.
Oba Atokpe. Let me associate myself with all the what have been said by those who have spoken to thank you. To thank Your Majesty for this unprecedented initiative and above all for the very quality time and the words of wisdom. I was governor here for 8 years, and my record speaks for me. I didn't need any human blood to win election twice. So I'm still the same person. If I didn't promote violence for myself, I cannot possibly promote violence for another person. The only fault is that the media don't always cover our rallies completely. There is no rally I have been to where I did not expressly reassure the people we are planning for free, fair election. But the media doesn't carry that part. Even yesterday, day before yesterday, I still maintain this election is like Christmas Day. We are just going to express the sovereignty of the people. That is what we should do as leaders. We launch one man, one vote. Our elder statesman is here. Because before my tenure, we had this situation of the votes not counting. So I am a product of peaceful election. In 2012, Your Majesty, I won 18 local governments without one person being hospitalized. So I joined them to assure you, I can't change. What I didn't do at a younger age, I will do it at my older age. I share your concerns, and I assure you, to the extent that I can speak, we will speak to the Edo people and to our supporters and even non-supporters to abide by Your Majesty's injunction that this is not a do or die. However we do it, one person must win. Your Majesty, I'm humbled and we are guided.
Your Royal Majesty, Oba Atokpe, I must say, I'm thoroughly humbled at this experience. I'm completely relieved at what Your Majesty has had to say and the kind of responses that we are getting from the principal actors. I must say, well, let me save all the history. I know your views about the role Your Majesty thinks I should have played. But there's always a background. And when you are out of office, to that extent your powers and your ability to influence events are curtailed and limited, particularly in the circumstances in which I had to, that I completed my term. But I want to assure Your Royal Majesty that at every stage I have spoken personally, underlined to all those I think have the ability to influence the course of events. I only go public when I suspect that I have not been sufficiently listened to, and I warn about what will happen if certain things are not done. That's the only time I go public. But I want to assure Your Majesty that before that, I speak to virtually all those who matter in the way things were developing. And Your Majesty made a very good point. And that is when you don't know the genesis of a problem, you really don't know where to start to solve it. Otherwise, it will become like sweeping the debt under the table or somewhere. I don't think any of us up to today knows the real genesis of the issues that are at play, but I am relieved that today we can look forward to peace. I'm relieved that I have made these commitments before Your Royal Majesty. I hope and pray that when they go out now, the two principal parties can talk to the press. The governor, who is the candidate of one of the parties, and Pastor Iyamu alone should talk to the media so the public can see the result of what has happened at this meeting. I will also want to say, we're looking forward. This argument has been on virtually for years. It has eaten deep into the fabric of our society. Even after the elections, I want to plead with Your Majesty that there will be need as soon as possible after to have a gathering of this nature and to have private consultations with all that are involved so that their actions post-elections will also continue to help to douse the tension, great tension, and great antipathy, great almost, I don't know how to describe it, which has been generated in the Edo State society. I thank Your Majesty. May God bless you. May God lengthen your days. And the wisdom that God has endowed you with, may it continue to increase. Thank you, Your Majesty.
I am also particularly grateful to His Excellency, our son, that he will ensure he's the one I'm watching very closely. That's Philip Shuaibu, to be sure that he's the one, he knows he's the one I'm talking about. I'm not saying you are, but at least we are sure that everybody is on the same page, as they say. I want to thank Prince Obi for his presence and the other party leaders. We thank you very much. I'm also personally thanking you instead of waiting for letting the Secretary BDC move the vote of thanks, which he can still do after. I thank the gentlemen of the press. As I said earlier on, please cover this event very, very well. Cover it objectively. Don't say what we didn't say. Don't. If you are forgotten, play your device, your recorders, play them back over and over again so you can get it correctly. I thank all of you for paying attention, for coming in so much numbers. I thank His Excellency, former governor of those states, also the comrade Adam Shomoli, and the other statesman. Odige Oyegun, Governor Odige Oyegun. Thank all of you, thank all the Nige, the chiefs, and the members of the royal family for this meeting. And the very warm embrace between Pastor Iyamu and His Excellency, the Governor. We pray that it remains, as we have seen it, genuine, not just in front of me. When you step out, carry it out, and let us see it in action, not just in words, not just acting before me. Let us see it, everybody see it in action. I beg of you, please, non-violent election. If there's any misunderstanding between any of you, try to share it, try to discuss it, by interacting closely, talk it out between yourselves. But no more shooting of guns. And no more arming of youths or anything like that. Tell the youths to please calm down. That all will be well at the end, and we will be proud of Edo State. We'll be proud of this election. That for a long time they have been worried about Edo election, Edo 2020, as if it's going to be a do or die affair. We had CDA, as I said. We had human trafficking. Edo was even even fingered as the hub of human trafficking. We have been dealing with it. We have played our part here in the palace, to make it easier for NAPTIP to do its job, and they have commended our efforts. International community has commended our efforts. We want the international community now to also commend this our efforts of today. That after today, everywhere is quiet. The election has come and gone. Whoever will meet again, as Governor Odigio Yegum, they proposed, we'll meet again to be together. Whoever is the winner, whoever is the loser, nobody can be the loser. Everybody will be win-win situation. Everybody will be a winner. One way or the other, everybody will be a winner. There will be no loser. So I thank you all very much for this meeting. But please, 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 keep to this commitment. Keep to this commitment. Mr. Governor, we know you are the chief security officer. You sworn to maintain peace and tranquility, no violence. Please ensure you carry out your duty as you have sworn to do, for the sake of peace and for the welfare of the entire people. I thank you all very much. May God bless you all. I'm not sure there's anything else except to now look forward to peace, no more shooting, violent-free environment. Thank you very much. Thank you.